Alright, so my other phone is getting low on memory and I need to save some of the information on it, right? Mm-hmm. To upload it here, so this one has more memory probably, right?
Low to middle. You can grab with the so that's your stomach level or chest level. Grab, kick, punch. Grab, kick, punch.
And like I said, that's show Cliff what I was going through on YouTube, right? While making up stories with him, right? See, they're not making theirs up, and they're not apologetic, Cliff, either. They're saying it on purpose, like I would really do that with a 4-year-old, right? And wouldn't have to bring her back to her mom anyway. I know the rules of engagement and that shit, right? From Oprah and Dr. Phil, and Daphne's treating me like a dumbass if she's trying to do anything like that, right? Or if she was put up to it by someone else too, right? Because see, the only way they can know about it is if someone put her up to it, right? But it backfired on her and them, whoever it was, right? And it is the whole point. Now, you of course don't remember everything, but you incorporate certain things that are more important in martial arts, right? Now, you grab their wrist when they're punching at you, but then you break their arm too, right? There's many things you can do. Asshole will basically attack me. Not just one thing, right? But again, you don't tempt the Lord if you're not used to jumping 2 1/4 stories anyway. I was jumping off my trailer, and granted, it's not 2 1/4 stories. And I'm sorry, Pastor Davis probably raped you or something in his motel room, but you went to on your own free will. But I can't think of anything else you would react badly to but that, if he did. And you don't know how to tell, like Julie does, right? That's why I say you need to talk to her about that shit, right? She knows what it's like to be betrayed by someone you trusted, right? I don't, because I wouldn't even get along with him because I knew not to trust him. Yeah, yeah. I heard of Jim Jones and what hell he was doing to his congregation, so I knew to stay away from his crazy ass. You might not. I'm sorry about that, right? I did. I know they're Jim Jones types, and they might really be good pastors. I don't know. I hope Jesse Duplantis is one of them. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to be good too, but you gotta actually be good, Jesse. Jesse, I won't make the wine cold for you. No, Jesse. No, that is. I won't sit by the phone and wait alone for you. Mm-hmm. Oops, don't mean to say that. No. But see, they're sending me these images. The images don't bother me, but you might be offended about them because you don't understand sex is a part of life. But that's probably the size of Satan's penis there, too. And he did it that way with Adam. And Adam was a virgin. Not anymore, he ain't. And forever he ain't if he keeps playing that role to Satan. Right? And won't confess it either. See, he's embarrassed by it if Satan got him up the butt. I know that. And see, Jesus might have, if he was a hermaphrodite, got at both holes. I mean, the soldier who raped him, that was his job. He was a professional rapist. And he was able to get away with it because of how Rome treated other citizens, right? Or foreign nations who weren't a part of them yet. It's kind of the dog mentality, the wolf mentality anyway. Werewolf. Mountain things you shouldn't be mountain. Fucking things you shouldn't be fucking. Right. And raping things you shouldn't rape. I'm trying to help you repent too, right? I know what you did. I'm not blind when the Gnostics are talking about the rape of Eve, and which Eve they mean, and Zoe Life Eve. I know what that means. I know who's Zoe Life Eve and who's Eve Eve. And I know the Gnostic sarcasm there, right? Jesus did not just suddenly stop being Jesus because he went to the cross, right? He stayed Jesus the whole time. Even after the cross, he remained who he was and forgave us our trespasses there, right? That's what you gotta do too, though, beast, right? You gotta forgive. Otherwise, none of us are doing good. No, not one. No, not one. And it's not to make you feel guilty. It's to make you and help you to repent of the evil Rome taught you. That's not normal to rape people. No. If you don't know that, they spread that into you. I know. But you can behave yourself. Don't tell me, oh, I don't have a choice. Bullshit like that. Yeah, you do. Your sexual desire ain't so strong you can't resist it. That's the point, right? Resist the devil is what Peter tells you, beast, and he will flee from you. I don't know. But you're a beast among many beasts. You're not the only beast in the world. Don't think you are. Don't think you're any special than any fucked up male on the planet who was taught an error. And that's all it really is. You were taught wrong about sex and how to dominate sexually. I don't know. Maybe I do every time. Maybe I don't. Maybe this is the first time I finally came to the conclusion of this. Maybe I was different. I don't know. I don't know. We have amnesia type experiences anyway, mainly our lives, right? But then the females are tricking me if they're underage and have fake IDs. That's felonies from them, by the way. They can't do that shit. No one can't. No one can. But I guarantee if they're virgins, they're going to marry me as their first because I'll let them control it all. Because I'm not sure they're not underage. I'm not sure they don't have a fake ID. And I can't turn down a good piece of ass. I'm real about that. I don't lie. I don't lie. I'll tuck you, fake ID or not. But that's you committing the felony there with the fake ID, right? That's a felony. That's not a misdemeanor. That's a felony charge, right? You can't have an ID saying you're old enough to have sex in Georgia when you're not. That's you breaking the law there, honey. And if they're not telling you that, they're trying to set me up through you, right, too. They know they're breaking the law. That's why I fight them to the death. I know I'm not going to see tomorrow anyway. If you're coming to my door in the middle of the night and you got a fake ID, I'm not going to see tomorrow. You might. But there again, they don't want me to get you pregnant either, so they might rape you until you do get pregnant by them, right? You know, that's the problem. I know. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, right? So am I. So am I. And I know your option is be with me who would treat you in a loving, kind, and compassionate way and make sweet love to you every time a female is with me who's a virgin. But you got to let me remember 9 or it don't matter. Or I won't go anywhere. I don't care how old I get. You got to bring me over 9. And that's why I'm going to sue the VA and Navy for the pain and suffering since I was discharged. Both of you will be named in the suit. If I have to, I'll name the fucking recruiting office in the fucking suit where I was recruited at. Here in Savannah. I know that. Exactly, my dear. Exactly, my dear. I know. But Jonathan disclosed he did a little pot. Y'all fucked up about all kind of crazy shit because of propaganda, right? Propaganda is bullshit. So y'all got the rest of them. And let's see, there's one more, but that one's on the phone, right? The other phone, right? And I think I uploaded this one. Maybe. No. Well, yeah. I need this one too. Just in case. Anyway, I know. Now, I did 15-minute sessions, but I also rested 15 minutes as well. Uploading the shit. You see, I uploaded it pretty much the same day, right? Within a few minutes, March 9th, yesterday. And there's nothing more to say about what it is either. Well, it might have what you call upgrades, up loads, right? That might be why it's blacking out. It just means I need to reboot it, right?
So you go here, here, here. Go back here.
That's why you go over the basics. You got to do the basics before you can graduate to anything else.
Two is outside block. So go here, 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 here.
Now there I just didn't do the targeting with it, right? Sometimes they'll teach you to target, and that's fine when you're what? Doing a tournament thing or doing a kata thing, right? But when you're doing real fighting, you don't target. No. You got to kind of realize when you're really fighting someone, you got to be able to do the block instantly. Whatever the block is you're doing, right? Inside, outside, downward, extended downward with the sword hand, right? And either way, you're blocking. However you're blocking, you can block inside, outside, but you want to catch them with the ball in here, right? So whichever side you do, inside, outside, this side, that side, right? You got to catch them with the ball, right? You can even twist it over and get them with the bone here, right? Well, that's what you want to get them with. That's why you always cover the basics. You go from the 9th or 10th cue, which is white belt, right, to the first cue, which is red belt, over and over again. You never stop going over those techniques, right? Or the brown belt, whatever it is for your style, right? Now, like, for instance, Ashley's red belt is after the orange. But then you got the yellow, right? In Kempo and Cliff style is white, yellow, right? No orange, green, green, blue, brown, 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 black. Cliff has about 8 cues. And that's fine too. But I studied with Cliff for 4 years. And you know, if you want to learn the art, you got to do it your sensei's way to get ranked, right? And that's why I'm still a blue belt in Shootaroo, and my mom helped me reach brown belt because she's a brown belt, right? Well, she can do that with my continuing study into karate with the Shotokan too, right? I'm learning katas Cliff didn't even teach us, right? So again, right, that's expanding my knowledge of the martial arts system in Japan, right? Which Shotokan is more popular than Shootaroo, right? Shootaroo was taught by Fumio Demura, right? Who also was a stunt double for Mr. Miyagi, or guy who played Al. I forgot his name right off the top. Sorry about that. I know it, but I forgot it. Brain fart.
Here. Here.
Now what I'm doing is I'm not targeting.
Here.
And those are the basic 1 steps, right? Well, you can also do an inside block reverse punch and also low block reverse punch. So there's more than one way to do it, but that's going according to Ashley's book, right? Exactly. Now, I'm also transforming Ashley's book into a system, right? My system based upon his book, which I know up to blue belt in Shootaroo, right? So I still know the kata's there, right? And, you know, I'm a little bit fuzzy between 3 to 4. And that's because in 3, you kind of do a lot of downward blocks, then you punch to the side. But in 4, you do a crescent kick, I believe, on the way down. And you do a downward block, front kick, lunge punch, right? On the top of the H. And then down you do downward block, crescent kick, right? And off the back leg, you do the crescent kick. And I'm not sure if you punch after it, right? But then you go back to the downward block, right? And then you do another crescent kick. And you might punch after it. I forgot every little detail, right? But all I would have to do is see the kata one time to remember. Like Donna Jackson continued in karate, so she might remember it better than me. But I joined the military. Donna didn't. And Donna had a career in music. Right? I didn't, right? So I can impersonate Donna. I just don't because she's a friend. Now, again, I do artists on, YouTube, right? But that's because I don't know them personally and I'm not able to seek their permission, right? That's a catch-22 as well, I know. And you know why, I know. See, I can't seek your permission if I don't know who you are, I know. But I can teach your material, 10%. Your total material, I know. That's what that means. And they're lying to you if they say we can't. Or we can't use it at all. Yes, we can. I can even listen to it as a clip, as long as it's for educational purposes. And I'm just going to do it again, assholes. Do you think blocking me from doing the video I'm doing legally is going to stop me? No. Why? Because we're lying. Because you're lying out your God-forsaken asses. Because you forsook God for Satan. By the way, you're forsaking God for Satan, not the other way around. God hasn't forsaken you yet because he's not doing you good and evil like the devil is. He does that to you in the name of his idea of God, right? Which is wrong. But when you do the evil works of Satan, you're just as wrong as him, right? You do know that, right? Evil is fucking evil and good is fucking good. And God isn't good and evil to begin with. And you're believing Satan's lie that he is that you had sex with him in Eden. And starting from that day on, you didn't trust God or the devil, blaming God for what you did with the devil. Like God would even do it with you that way. God would become 2 and then might would be with you. But not as one. That's the difference there too. God knows you're not supposed to have sex in that form for a reason. It's the truest form of God. Right? A spirit is neither male nor female to begin with, and formed in a neutral body. And then from that neutral body came Eve from Adam. Right? Well, you can't do that with our body, the male's body now, unless you do it genetically or something, and take out the X from the Y. And make her body double X and his XY, but it's still the same process. Don't you get it? Right? But that's still extracting the DNA from the male that is X and just simply doubling it in the female. You get what I mean, right? That's still taking her out of or away from the male, right? And making her a double X and him an XY still, right? It's still a genetic marker you can't do as a man or a woman, right? Yourself, right? You can operate us on us doctors and help us a little bit along the way, but you're still not God either. You got a Godhead complex too, a God complex too, right? A God complex is like Satan has towards us too. He thinks his ways of God are better than our ways of following God, right? And he's the one who's teaching us to be good and evil, like it's God that's good and evil. No, when it's him alone. Yeah, I know. He's doing that on his own against God who is good, right? And would never do you that way. And that God is Jesus over Satan too, right? Jesus will never rape your wife, I know. Unless you're divided from her and you're giving her a hard-ass time or something, Satan, they're getting too. And then he would want to become one with her, right? And entrap her in the body, I know, of the hermaphrodite over the male and female, right? He lured her back into the body, but then wouldn't let her out of the body. I know. She's the first person taken prisoner, by the way. Satan's male side took her prisoner when he convinced her to become one with him again, right? And this is how it is from the beginning. You're 1 to 2 mainly, right? And then right before the child's born, you become 1. Right? Well, like I said, right? Then you become 2 again to morph the child out. It's kind of like a butterfly effect, right? The butterfly is a caterpillar that metamorphoses into the butterfly, right? Through a cocoon, right? Well, that's kind of what you do when you morph the child out versus it passing through the vagina. It is morphed out. He or she is morphed out, right? Now, Jesus also can assume each form individually. So Jesus can deal with Satan's wife as a male or female or hermaphrodite. But again, if he's doing that, Satan is doing something wrong to the woman, right? His female. But Jesus would try to talk to her about it, not just fuck her either, Satan. That's an accusation too, right? Because Jesus is trying to do something to that. And he would actually become you, not steal your wife from you, right? Because you're being the problem, right? You are him and he is you. It's kind of like a clonal effect, right? What is an asexual organism? It's something that clones and copies itself without the need to reproduce, right? That's clonal in its purest form as asexual life forms. They just divide into 2. That's what you don't get either. But we can't be clones. You can't take someone's DNA and put it in an empty egg and that really be the person. It's a new person with that person's DNA in it. That's all it is. That's all it is. That is no longer you. I know. It's a copy of you. Yeah, you took it from your own genes, but it's also a new entity. A new child. And it's you, but it's not you. I know. You know what I mean there, too. That's why you can't pretend that causes your DNA is you, right? Nor can you control that human's DNA and take body parts from it like Dr. Kilroy or something, right? You know who Kilroy is. He's someone who will fuck your women and leave them pregnant while he goes off to war, right? Well, you're not supposed to do that, but with your wife, not someone else's wife. No. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not going to battle. You're forcing me to fight you, if anything. If anything.
See, I'm teaching as I'm showing you the video that under educational purpose. Even though it's copyrighted material.
So about 3 more minutes, then we're done. But hopefully it'll make it.
Also, the outside block in Shotacon.
No. Now each block has a different name. This is the inside, but it's also the outside, right? But it can be chest level below your arm, right? Or it can be upward or extended this way, out this way, or the block can be this way, right? Or more angular to catch the blow with your arm or forearm, right? Either way, and that's why you learn to block different ways too. You don't know what block you're going to actually need when someone goes to punch you, right? But if you tell them, look, I took karate, don't fuck with me. I also took a little bit of ninjutsu through a book by Stephen K. Hayes, and they doubted you and attacked you. Well, what you going to do? Do what you told them you would do in that situation, right? And break his fucking arm. And that would call the police. They would call the security guards, and they can't do nothing with me till morning, right? Even if they detain me, right? Which I didn't have a place to sleep anyway, right? I'd have had to sleep in the lounge and get a shirt from somebody or something, right? And ask around till I got one too, right? But it's blowing their mind. It's blowing your mind. Because you also think you killed me. But I told you, your pulse is so weak and faint. Maybe I was dead, maybe I wasn't. But either way, I'm brought back to the state of alive, right? I can't prove it to you because I have amnesia of the whole thing, right? Like with the wreck. Both can kill you. I know. Both would cause you to temporarily lose consciousness and to slow everything down, right? But what actually happened, I don't remember, right? Unless Mark chopped me into little pieces or something. already talked him out of it. Either way, I don't know. But I didn't really hurt him either, did I, Roddy? I just told him I would do it, and he might have stopped him from hurting me further. But Mark didn't like that I bit the tip of his dick, which was when he tried to stick it in my mouth, and I told him I would do it, right? I would. Just to teach him not to do that shit anymore to me. You know, you can do it to anyone else. Not me. I'll bite it off. And I know they at least knocked me out after that, but Mark probably stopped me from doing something worse, right? Because like I said, it's got to look up like I was in a car wreck. It can't be any faster than the car's going, dumbass, right? And that's your problem too, right? They're going to investigate how bad it is, how good it is, and it's going to match the injury, right? You can't just cut off my head because you think the glass windshield will do that, right? You got to prove it'll do that. Right. And, and like I told you, I know. I talk about the truth, Daphne. If you don't want the truth to be known about your daughter coming in there to me, that's on you, right? And this is to show my signature is by Joseph Bradley, not Marceline.
All right, so this here isn't my mom's signature.
Nor is it his, nor is it mine, right?
Joseph Bradley.
And like I told you, if I have to do that with you, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. About what you did to me, and I'm worried they could be escalating it, but I'm claiming the power of the Wolverine, right? And healing like he does, right? Even though it's fictional to you, not the Jesus in me, right? Because, see, I've even saw how he heals when he's shot with a gun in the movies, right? Even before you pulled that shit, maybe. I know, recently. I didn't start really backing out till the Black Watch, which is still there, right? And like I said, right, that's just to show you someone else's signature that's different than mine, right? You see mine, right? Which, like I said, mine is different than Bradley's, right? See, this is to show you I'm validating the course because I went over it already, right? You know, I at least watched it. And if they're showing me familiar techniques I already know, right? I will find out what way to figure out to show you some of the techniques, right? But I got to do it sparingly. I can't do it all on one video because of the length of their video. If it's educational, it's educational, right? But I can't show you all the techniques on one video. I got to spread it out, right? That's the legality of it too, right? And like I said, their yellow belts are similar, but it's also different, right? But I also recognize it, right? What they're doing, right? And that's why I also signed it to double verify it, right? And I can also get my mom to sign it too, at the top or something, right? To triple verify it, right? And I can show her the DVD, and this is what I'm going over next, right? And it's up the 2nd degree black belt. And you kind of underline it with a ruler or something, and then you get her to sign it too, maybe above the seal or something, right? Make her feel special. And all she's doing is verifying that I'm doing the techniques, right? She's my final verification. Now, yes, he sent it to me without really verifying I did the techniques, but the techniques are on the video, right? And he knows I'm going over the video. Right. Okay.